Good.
What up?
Woo! What up?
So,
So
how's it going, Justin?
this is what happens when it's left on me to make sure the guests are booked.
I knew, well, I was about to look up some backups, and yesterday I got a spoof call from the cops, and I thought I was going to prison. I didn't tell you this.
Wait, what?
I've never fallen for a scam before. Knock on wood. I'm sure it'll happen. And these guys called me. I was thinking like I missed some court case or something from like another address that was like legitimate. And, I had to go like work the shit out. I'm trying to think like, is this a scam? Because they're not pushing for money. So like, what is this? And this phone call is, it's a police office, right? Like, are they like spoofed the number like midway through the call? So I'm thinking like, no problem. I'll just go to the local authorities office and work it out. That's when it got weird because what they wanted me to do was like read my rights like on a phone or something. So I was thinking like, well, what is this? And I was looking it up, like Googling like what could be happening here. And I think it was a psychological tactic to get you more invested in the story. And then later is when the ask for money would come, because on the other line, I called up my cousin who's a criminal defense lawyer. And like he deals with all of these guys. And he's like, he was yelling at me. He's like, hang up on those assholes right now. This is not due process.
That's funny. Actually, like Jen told me that that's a common one that's going around. The local authorities put some like warning out about it.
Oh, they did? Yeah, they had everything. They had my personal information, like everything about me. And, obviously, like all my credits on lock anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
I mean, people should be aware, like with the Trezor, like especially a bunch of our people.
yeah,
Trezor and Cold Card, like that's what's going to happen is like the danger of wrench attacks, but they'll probably try to confirm it first. So, like, one of the things people have to be aware about is like if somebody calls you asking you about crypto, you should act like you hate it and it's a scam and you lost all your money.
what is crypto? Yeah.
Yeah, like
that?
Oh, like the retard coins?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I'll touch that shit.
The fake?
I would never buy something called fart coin. That sounds funny. Yeah. I mean, it is pretty scary though. They've gotten I'm assuming they didn't have Indian accents.
Very professional. Sounded like a very professional, calm, no problem. Like they'll work at this. I asked for his badge number, gave me some made up thing. I'm like Googling. I'm like, what is this? This is strange. Why? Oh, and I also jump around a lot. So it wouldn't be this isn't my first rodeo of like something weird happening with my license or like I have, it wasn't totally out of their question.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like listening to it. But then the whole like read your rights thing. I mean, that was like, don't you do that in person, right?
Yeah,
and then they're saying, you know what, we'll just come in person. It's like, what is happening?
I mean, that's
related.
I've been on this like anti-flock camera kick lately because I was thinking about. I mean, you probably won't be surprised at all, like for this, but like I notoriously like if I got a speeding ticket in some like troll county in the middle of nowhere, I'll just not drive through your county ever again. You're not going to extradite me. Famously, like, or New Jersey, for example, I avoided for 7 years.
Wait, can you explain this to me? So you're saying that they extradite you if you're on camera for speeding?
Well, what I'm saying is, I would have never been able to get away with what I got away with if there was like a national grid of connected cameras that could track your every movement.
Oh, right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I'm sure at one point I must have had outstanding warrants in like 5 states or something. But like, who cares? Like, they're not going to come get me. You're not going to spend all the money to come get me wherever I am and then ship me to butt fuck nowhere, Louisiana or whatever, for a $500 speeding ticket or something.
Speaking of warrants, that was part of the thing that escalated the call. But then there's a warrant out. So what they were trying to argue, and because I'm not a lawyer or understand fully different jurisdictions, I didn't have the information for the expertise for this. So they're trying to argue like, well, this happened in another jurisdiction, and because the case is a high class case, there's a warrant, and like it sounds ridiculous. Then it's like, what are you talking about? So they say like, well, if you drive down to the authorities office, now they're going to arrest you, and it's going to be inconvenient, right? Because you're going to be in a holding period. So the story gets more elaborate and weird.
Yep.
And they're preying on like fear, and then
yeah.
trying. Yeah. So, but what my cousin said they would try to do is they're going to try to get you to like go somewhere and then like send them money or do something. The money comes next.
Yep.
And usually it's something like Bitcoin related or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, you can pay it online with Bitcoin or whatever.
Your bond, like you can pay your.
Yeah, give. I mean, it used to be. So sorry, before crypto, it was gift cards that they tried to get. Like, they try to get you to go to the store and buy gift cards and then read them the numbers off the gift cards.
Like off a phone or something like that.
Right, like I'm the guy that like people would call and be like, "Do you think this is legit?" And I'd be like, "Look, you never have to." Like, there's never been a government entity ever that's going to call you and ask you to go buy gift cards and read them the numbers, like ever.
Doesn't like there should be a hotline that you can actually. It's best to text, where it's like your lawyer on call. Like, does this sound legitimate?
You know what? So I have a friend, like in Florida, everybody knows him. 1-800-ASK Gary.
What? You got that as a line? Did you
No,
put on
no. Like my friend Dr. Gary, like had like it was famous, like TV commercial, billboards everywhere. I mean, he made an ungodly amount of money on it. Specifically, he just did it like his lead generation.
Yeah, it's great. I mean,
1-800-ASK Gary, and then people would call, and he would, he'd make his money on referrals to attorneys or doctors or whatever. It's actually really genius.
Oh yeah, I know a guy who got a lot of the during the .com age, bought up all the websites, retired rich as hell in South Florida, bought a vanity like phone number, then a matching vanity website, bought like 1-800 sell your home, something generic, put it on a main highway of Florida, and gets all the inbound, sends it to his wife, and they just divvied up. And because ads are so expensive, in person is now even more, it's even better. And then they kind of like branched out to brokerage and like people who are trying to sell their home but also buy a home. So they kind of own like part of Florida.
Yeah. I mean, once you start, right, like once you get, I mean, I don't think people understand just how much, and it's when we say data, really most of it's lead generation, right? Which is for anyone who sells anything, right? Like, have you seen the old movie Glengarry?
No, and I probably should.
Um,
Is it
I-
about you? Is it like a joke? Like
no, no, it's
comedy?
not, no, it's like a hardcore. Oh, who's in it?
What's
Michael
it called?
Douglas, maybe Glenn Gary, Glen. I want to say Garry.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yep.
Looks like a movie I would like. I'm
No,
looking at it.
no, you
Oh,
if you
this
see,
is like famous, isn't it?
yeah, no, it's all about leads. So like, right, like the dudes in the office battling over leads, and then like the old timer who gets the shitty leads, just like cheat. Like, oh, it's Al Pacino. God, I was
I
like,
love
get on it.
I
Great.
love Al Pacino.
No, it's what's interesting about Glengarry is again, it's like whoever gets the best leads in this office, right, are the one who make the sales, who make their commissions, and keep their positions, and um, the managers can kind of control that process by like the tier of leads that they give people. Great movie. I
I
I had a business partner once that was like he literally like named his firm after that and did lead generation. And like it was a big part of like when I built all of these political movements,
mhm.
right? One of the things that we did differently is like we kind of treated the incoming data as lead generation
Yes.
and just applied it instead of to like commercial sales to like winning people over to political stuff. So
Yeah. There's like so much overlap with the whole lead generation business. And I don't know if you know that, but I do a lot of that like during the day. So figuring out creative ways to get leads.
yeah,
And the problem is it's such a scammy business where people will just like make a landing page, run ads to it, collect all the leads, and then just sell out the same leads to everybody else. And the reality is you really want to build up your own pipeline, and you also want them to be warm leads. Like what Grant Cardone does. Like that's when I remember when we were on his space last, he was saying that all of his leads are warm, which makes sense. And they also have an automatic phone line. I can't remember what it's called, where they call a bunch of people. It lights up, when it's like ready to pick up or whatever. He does that. Plus, they're also getting inundated with his ads 7, 10, 14 times before his best sales. I bet he organizes them based on like best closer, or like it probably goes to like the warm up,
yeah,
person warms them up, passes it to a closer, and then that's it.
yeah. No, I mean, I've done lots of call centers.
Oh yeah.
Right.
When?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, large politics if you're dealing with large numbers of people.
Well, like that's the top tier of a call center, because you have to represent the politician. You have to walk them through the whole storyline of like what the politician is
What,
promising to do, and then you have to be careful about what you say.
what's so funny enough that there's actually this is actually a really interesting part of campaigns no one ever talks about.
Okay.
So for most politicians, getting volunteers to dial on your behalf is like
Yeah.
one. Well, so there's lots of digital ways to allow people to call from home now, right? You provide them the scripts and then the leads, and then they work through the file, or whatever. But there has to, like, in order to sustain a call center, there has to be a commercial element. So it's almost done exclusively for big fundraising.
Okay.
Right? So like the RNC will contract with the call center to call members to ask for more donations.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's a terrible, terrible, terrible business. Terrible.
Tell me why they're allowed to text you. Like, have I opted in to absolutely every political? It's I'm getting texts from everybody.
So you can blame Jack for that.
Is that one of your buddies?
Yeah. So
Okay. Every time I get a text from one of these guys, I'm going to send an invoice.
Jack is, you know who I'm talking about?
I think so.
He's
For
the
me
other guy who
to
likes, yeah, he's the other guy who likes to wear Robert Graham stuff.
yeah, I remember.
I think
What
he
is
was, I think he was in a seersucker suit at Trump Doral.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jack is like the best in the like. I think legitimately he's the best in the country at that.
Okay. He's the best in the country at
Delivering text messages for politicians.
so like he somehow found a way to opt everybody in.
Well, yeah, no, like he probably when you texted him, like, oh, we'll just add her to the list.
Oh yeah.
But to be honest, I'm being silly with that, but
You're probably simplifying it. Yeah.
if you get a contact, I mean, it's election day in Florida. Who'd you vote for?
You're gonna get mad at me. I never vote.
Did you vote for Fishback?
No, I never vote. I feel like my vote doesn't matter until you have any involvement. Like, I know this is weird to say, but and like I usually don't admit this, but I just don't really believe it's gonna do anything. I don't feel like my vote.
I'm not supposed to say this, but
and I don't want to be tracked either. And like, I don't know. I just
you want to be respectful of the people who believe they're doing something.
Oh, definitely. Look,
to me, it's the biggest psyop of them all. To be honest, like it's the most effed up thing. Like maybe the crazy is that somehow the people who steal all the money from us aren't responsible. It's us because we vote.
Oh, it's a way you're basically arguing that it's a way to decenter the responsibility onto to us then.
Yeah, like you're because you're right. I've often said it like this. Who am I supposed to vote for if I don't want more taxes, more regulations, more wars? Who?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if what people are saying is actually what they believe.
No, and most of the time it's not. Or it's what they believe at the moment when they go to DC and they rather believe something that's more beneficial to their personal interests, right? So I think it's reasonable to be pretty black pill on voting.
Do you vote? Or do you vote or do you just try to influence in your ways?
I mean, yeah.
Sometimes. You don't?
If I ever ran for office, that clip would be problematic for me. But
well, but the thing is like, people can change their mind, and they can also, like, I'm not saying I've never voted. I have. I don't have a lot of faith in how things are run right now anyway. If that changed, then I would change my position. I mean, then then I would, but I think it's tricky. Like, I actually think your involvement and everything you try to do to help and like actually make a difference and things you care about has a much higher ROI than.
Yeah, I mean, for me, for a long time during election season, I'd be active. I'd be very active in 5, 6, or 10 states, and like for me, impacting. But to me, voting is always in the electioneering stuff is just the means to having influence when it comes to policy fights, which happens next year. Right. So like my goal is to be able to get on the phone with the actual decision makers.
Yes.
And then influence actual policy.
See, that's what matters. We don't actually get to vote for that.
Right.
Or have any.
Well, we collectively do, but like
kind of like from elevation, but
you've got to sort people. But I think Florida's going to be like Byron Donalds is going to run away with it. So, and I actually think he's a pretty good dude. So, but
Okay.
governor races, local races, you actually do have an impact. So that's the one place I would say, like, you should vote. Is like local elections. It does not take much to influence a local election. Like, votes actually do matter. But
Um,
everybody focuses on like the top lines, statewide races, the presidentials. But like, to be honest, your mayor and city council members have the ability to affect your life more than most people
more.
realize.
I
And
agree.
they tend to be, because no one knows who the hell they are, they tend to get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoever that was down there, I mean, we haven't done a conspiracy one in a while, but like, I think that the population numbers are complete bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I think they dramatically overinflate how many people in the world there are, and then what those fictional people do. Just think about how much money is at stake. Like a 0.1% increase in the population. I was going to do a whole thing tonight on Lisa Murkowski, the senator from Alaska.
Okay.
So, like, we beat her, and like, this was like, I spent $4 or $5 million on that race. Like,
Wow.
we slaughtered her, like, beat her in the primary election, and then she came back as a write-in candidate in Alaska, and like totally stole the election.
Okay.
Anyway, and so now she's the senator who's preventing us from getting like the Save America Act, which would help like streamline elections. But I don't know. It's funny because I don't normally talk about this stuff because it's so taboo to not like to be in politics and not vote. Like, it
Oh, I know.
to be like, "Ah!"
Well, and I love the statement of, well, you kids go out there and vote. And if you don't, you can't say anything.
Just vote harder. Like, you could have the world that you want. Just vote harder. Like, I don't think that's how we're gonna fix this. I
This
don't see that as being the solution.
this reminds me of this header that I just put on my X account. It made me laugh. Did you see this? It's this guy like fighting it's this woman running away from a dragon. And the guy is like, "Fear not, my lady, I'm registering to vote it out."
That's actually hilarious.
It's funny we brought that up because like that is like legitimately what I was thinking about recently.
But I'm watching that. I'm dealing with. So I it's funny because I'm like gearing up to do a bunch of big election stuff right now. So like, I was supposed to bring Brock Pierce on today, and like, me and Brock and some people have been working to put some cool stuff together. But like, I'm struggling because like, you have to have, in order to do politics now, you kind of have to have like all these crazy stupid legal structures that you do like 1, 2, 3 to go do all this different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
501, the umbrella includes a 501c3, a 501c4, and a super PAC or hybrid PAC, and just getting all of that stuff set up and then making sure that you're compliant with all the paperwork. So now, right, like, if you want to bring a couple $1 million in and go bash some political heads, you actually have to like, yeah. To me, it's very anti-First Amendment. Like, we challenge McCain-Feingold, which is where all the like political election laws come from, our first grounds. But I actually think the Supreme Court would be open to hearing it. I've done that. So I took 2 cases to the Supreme Court and won on this stuff. Like,
Really? You were on like C-SPAN and everything talking about it?
Well, no, so like,
Can we go watch it?
Yeah, the cases I filed complaint for went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Of course it did.
Right, and the court had to like, right. So specifically, it was around after Citizens United, there were PACs, and then there were super PACs, and now we were like a PAC before, and then their super PACs were invented. And we're like, well, why can't we do what super PACs do? And so they created a new category called hybrid PACs, based around our original demand for clarification from the Federal Election Commission. So anyway, I'm doing like horrible lawyer paperwork stuff.
Terrible. It's really built that way by design, isn't it?
I think it's specifically designed to prevent people from participating.
Yes.
So it's the exact opposite of what the First Amendment, and this is why like the challenges often win. But just realize a Supreme Court challenge costs you 7 or 8 years of your life and $4 or $5 million, like mint. So like no one wants to be the test case on any of this stuff. But it's just like all of the regulatory capture stuff that happens in business. Right? Which is like, oh, I'm Facebook, and now I want to make it so burdensome to do what we do that none of my no startup. Facebook didn't have to pay $1 billion a year in lobbying and legal fees, like legal compliance fees. Now to have a social media platform, it prevents them from having to face startup competition. So
yeah, it just removes all the competition, huh?
Somebody described it to me once as like regulatory capture is a business pulling up the ladder after they've climbed up. Right? So like essentially you just remove the ability for your competition to do what you just did.
Yeah.
Pretty spot on. So
I've
been trying to I actually like shout out to all my Facebook people. Like I broke down X drove me so crazy. Shadow banning that like I restarted on my Facebook account. So
yeah, what's going on with that? Is X still being strange about that? And also, is Facebook in now? Is Facebook like the MySpace of?
Yeah, it seems like this. It seems like the Zuckerbot 3000 got a testosterone injection. Now he's doing like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and he's stopped being like a big government tyrant and censoring everybody. We'll see how long it lasts.
Really?
For me, it's like
he's doing some water skiing or something. I don't know.
No, he actually really isn't like heavy into MMA. So I put Dana White on the meta board.
Okay.
But it's the moving goalposts. Like X, like 1 week it's like this, the algorithm rewards if you post this many times a day on this format. And then they just like dramatically shift it, change the whole thing over like day to day, week to week. I'm just like, I'm not your little monkey. I'm not playing your stupid little games. So
I think it's really scary too, because a lot of people are like forced to like, this is why I think lead generation is really the future, because you're not going to be able to outbid ads. Like even ads aren't going to work very well in the future. So you need to grow your network. Have to.
Yep.
You have to have trust, and then you have to be creative at getting, leads. Whatever your business is. Like
it's key.
Because the algorithm's going to get worse and worse, I think.
Oh, look, this guy's telling me, like, I don't know what Citizens United's about. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
No, I mean, Citizens United was a change in the election laws that allowed for more money to pile into politics.
Mm-hmm.
But it still has to pile into the same structures that prevent people from just like organizing. It's not such a simple solution all the way around. But anyway, this is why Dustin should not be allowed to book the guests, because I totally blow it. So sorry about
this. Is why what? You shouldn't be allowed to book the guests?
But I bet we'll have Ken Paxton from Texas, Bruce Blakeman running for governor in New York. I
Yeah.
expect both of them on in the coming weeks, and then we have as many little Congress critters as we want, but they tend to bore me.
By the way, I sent you that Fishback link the other day because I just thought it was interesting that he was streaming on X and whatever online. It's exactly what you're saying. They're all going to be doing this.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I think Fishback's. I don't really like. I kind of think he's kind of a goof. Right.
Did he really get married to that girl? I didn't really look into it. I kind of saw it and then I didn't read into it after that.
Yeah. So, but I gotta say, I admire the work he's put in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's actually built. He's not going to win. Just to be clear, but if he continues at this pace and he doesn't screw up losing, so most people, their first campaign is around just introducing themselves to people, right? I think
right.
Really well. The problem is when people lose, sometimes they just blow it all up. So if he accuses everybody else stealing it from him and cheating, I think he'll outperform what people are thinking. I think he'll have a good showing. He can build on that base that he's created this time, unless he goes psycho and pretends like if his ego is so fragile it won't let him, recognize the realities of a state as big as Florida, you got to raise $50 million to be competitive.
It's true that people really do burn bridges and let ego get in the way in any industry, and then unfortunately they could have made it if they just held out a little longer. What do you think about this? I saw this article about betting on politicians, and I flagged that because I was I wonder what you think about this. What's with all these bets on everything?
So
how is this?
Yeah, those prediction markets now you can bet on damn near anything.
Crazy.
What's interesting about that, Unusual Whales, shout out to my boy. I know the people who run Unusual Whales.
Of course you do.
No,
you build
yeah, they're very cool. So I was thinking, I was thinking I had a funny idea for a shitcoin launch that would be funny because they're about to make trading stocks available pretty much 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. So pretty much all the time the market's going to be open. There's going to be an overnight market now in stock trading. And so for all of these stock owners, welcome to the world of crypto where the markets never sleep and they make all the big moves at 4 a.m. so that the market maker, you are about to 24/7 open markets is a brutal game changer.
Yeah, imagine that. 24 hours. Then you also have your AI bot. People are trying to code their AI teams to be better than the next one. I mean, this is a singularity. We're here, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah, I mean, prediction markets, I don't know. For me, it's crazy. So I grew up in Nevada.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
The thing about being in Nevada at the time is that gambling wasn't legal and sports betting was only legal in 2 states, Nevada and New Jersey. Now it's anyone can bet on fucking anything from anywhere, and the corruption issues with that are real, right? Do you see the Trump lawsuit thing?
I don't know.
I don't know how much legs this has, but apparently Trump was selling early access to his
the AI app for $100,000.
Yeah, so that people could use that information for the prediction markets. Like if you look, when he's posted about like the Iran war stuff, the markets before that and oil and like some of the like huge, I mean, we're talking billions and billions of dollars. It's pretty crazy. So
Interesting.
yeah, now we're in this weird time. And prediction markets, I haven't really screwed with them yet, but I have a feeling I could do very well with prediction markets.
Well, you're usually on the cutting edge of like what's the new way to make money, which then kind of predicts how people are going to run their business. So, you had like the farming and the all the shit coins and meme coins in the beginning, but then how people were utilizing those
Yeah,
were the money, and the arbitrage. So like you're already seeing where the attention's going to be for this new wave of crazy.
I guess part of me doesn't want prediction markets to become that big of a thing.
Yeah.
Because I like sports betting was really problematic in sports cheating, right? Like back in the day, price like the 1913 Black Sox scandal, right? There was an NBA referee.
Like yeah. They're incentivized to
cheat, right? Manipulate the scores. Imagine when you can bet on everything, right? Like,
I mean, this can't be legal forever. No, can it be? It could be. This could be a way to just get us stuck on our screens forever too.
I don't know. For young people, how else are you supposed to make your fortune now? It's like be a wage slave or learn how to like get lucky gambling. That's
it.
I hear that from a lot of the like younger dudes who are like around, and it's like I can't really argue with that. Like
I can't argue with it.
It's like in the current environment for you to make it anymore. And like the boomers are like, oh, just go work at McDonald's. Like, dude, you can't buy anything with $15 an hour anymore. So
yeah, I was gonna bring I know somebody else who I've done some work for who was a gambler, almost ruined his life, wrote a book on it, sold his business for like $500 million, and is crazy like intense. So when I bring him on here, you'll know exactly it's your type of guy. Just
sounds like exactly the person.
And really talks down on these people who are just kind of selling the dream, because that is the new wave. Sell whatever, don't even worry about the end product, and then get everyone to buy in. And then when that doesn't work, they're gonna all use these prediction markets and lose the $15 that they did bake from McDonald's.
Right, whatever's left. Yeah. It's the same with meme coins right now, right? Like I'm watching them start like sure nobody cares, but like the Ansem stuff, because I still have all the like meme coin people in my feeds and stuff. Like they're ramping up the idea that you could turn, $100 into $500,000 if you just, get the right trade. And it's like knowing how this shit works behind the scenes. Like, yeah, there's a wallet that did that. That will never be your wallet.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what about those streamers that are like streaming, making a lot of money, or that really well-known Asian girl who does these theatrical clips of her losing all this money online?
So that there's huge business. I mean, one of the best.
And by the way, she's actually not. She's pretending like she is. People all donate, and then she makes millions of dollars.
Well, no, and the online casinos Kick got sued for this. There was a big lawsuit with Kick because the casinos were giving fake money and then artificially letting people like let their streamer like changing the odds so that the streamers would hit jackpots and it would be exciting or right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So much of this shit is just fake and gay and manufactured now. It's you have to be really careful. But like selling people on the here's the thing I hate the most when times get tough. The people who think they're broke are right. The scammers realize there's still like a lot that the people who are like desperate and seeking help become the more like people vulnerable to people just like take what like take the money they loaned from credit cards and other stuff because
Mhm.
people right. But some of the shit you're better off going to the casino. Like you
Yeah.
right, go play some blackjack. Might have a better chance of winning. And a lot of this online.
Go learn how to count cards. Well, and then the facial recognition cameras are going to ban you from everything.
No, and the casinos keep like the camera AI keep track of the count now, and your bet size as it relates to the count. So, it's my tough time to be a card counter. Tough time.
I need to bring John on, who he was supposed to come on the other day, the one who flies the planes and started some of the first Bitcoin ATM machines. But what he used to do before that, he's always doing something. Before that, he was like going to all these casinos and he found some glitch in one of the machines where, you know, if you use like some credits in order to get your like hotel room or whatever, you could kind of like double it up. But anyway, he was just making a ton of money doing this for a time. The casinos all caught on, recognized him, and then he was like banned from, you know, almost every casino.
Legend.
But for a while, you know, you can get away with some of the stuff. But casinos in general are just so I once met this Native American who was trying to like, I guess, work with maybe the government to put in another casino because I guess, right, there's tax benefits for putting casinos on Native American land. And a lot of the shady practices were about like how far away was the car parked from like the entryway to the door, and if it's like facing to the left, they're more likely to see the blue lights and like get incentivized to come in and try one more time. And the atmosphere is really cold, and you know there's always one man who wins the slot machine, which is right next to the other door. And so when you walk in, you're likely to see that, and you're kind of like walked through this theatrics of a fake reality that you subconsciously are thinking you're going to get a cut of.
Yep. No, casinos are. I mean, I love casinos, but I also
you're a professional poker player, so that's
poker's having a huge resurgence right now. It's like tons of new interest in poker. The poker games are getting huge. Tournaments are getting huge again.
Why is that?
Because people are desperate
for making money.
Yeah, well, yeah. What's interesting is like poker tends to go up when times get bad.
When times go down, yeah. Well, I guess all the vices do, right? So
all of them, but in particular, like poker, because poker is a mostly skill game that has random variance. That random variance makes everybody think they're a great player because like everybody will go on hot streaks and cold streaks, and it's very difficult for people to identify that they're not a winning player.
Well, there's probably a bit of the Dunning-Kruger effect too, or whatever you call it.
Poker gives everybody the ability to blame it on the cards and luck instead of their own skill issues. But
so what's the real skill in poker? Having a poker face? Like what is it? Knowing all the knowing all the options, math.
Knowing exactly where you are, right? It's a combination of all of this, but like knowing exactly where your hand is in relation to what the best possible hand is at the time, and the likelihood that your opponent would have whatever hand, like whatever hands would be above your hand.
Yeah, that's really the top. What the top? I guess the more you play, the more you like. This naturally becomes what second nature, kind
Yeah,
of.
I mean, I used to drill, so I used to take like a deck of cards, I'd lay out 3 cards, and then call out the best hand, best possible hand, like 5 best possible hands, 5 best possible draws, and
Yeah.
then turn river, and just do that over and over and over again. Because the starting is just knowing what the best possible hand is, and then you start getting into ranges and like, right, so like what your opponent's likely to have based on like how much they bet in position to where they are in relation to the blinds.
But on top of that, though, you're dealing with all of these really individual humans with different risks. And like, remember when Gary said, I know a lot about a person just by playing poker with them once.
Yeah.
So he's basically saying like how much they're willing to
How they tolerate loss, like, right, like, or how they tolerate winning, right, like you really, because it exposes you controlling your emotions in poker, right? So you could have all of the knowledge and still get wrecked in poker because like you're too emotional about winning and losing in the immediate. So I love poker. I should just do all this other shit and go play poker again. That'd be fun.
Well, maybe you should. How often do you play?
Actually, I've been playing more lately. So I used to play maybe like 4 or 5 tournaments a year. I've been playing online a little bit more. I won actually a couple of like big ones recently.
Yeah, that's cool. I wanted to do some of those, like there's like a lot of those online places where you can play just to kind of like get better at knowing the math side of things.
Yeah, and just playing, right? Like there's the cool thing about online, you can find games for any price, running 24 hours a day, and like get better. I also Super System by Doyle Brunson is one of the greatest strategy books ever written.
What's it called?
Super System by Doyle Brunson.
Okay. Do you know this guy?
I didn't meet Doyle. I tried to name my son Doyle.
Really?
That book had more impact on my strategies of life. Like, I think there's 3 great strategy books that everybody should read.
Okay.
Zoo, Art of War, Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, and Doyle Brunson's Super System. And if I had to boil it down, it would be this. The most aggressive person becomes the table captain, and the table captain is the one who wins.
The most aggressive person becomes the table captain, meaning he can kind of control the outcome of things.
Yep. So like if you're the table captain, right, if you've bullied everybody into submission, you get to control the size of the pot, which allows you to take advantage of like the information you have that they don't have, which is the value of your own hand.
Oh, wow. Okay. You would say that this still relates to every other area of your life?
I was always naturally kind of like this, which is right, like just very aggressive and assertive. This though, like it's like learning the science behind like what it means to be aggressive, and then, but most importantly, selectively aggressive is right, like, which, when Doyle takes over a table, right, it's not that he's just, and I learned this the hard way. Like my first year of poker, I lost shit tons of money because like I just overdid it. I was like, I'm going on like no one will ever outraise me. the selective aggression part, like
This is the right one, right? This
yeah,
is the right book. Okay.
amazing. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. One of the best strategy books ever written.
It's interesting that I've never heard this one. Like I've heard, The Art of War and whatever, but why does no one talk about this one? Is it just because it's in the poker world, which is more your world?
Yeah, and poker's very niche, and
Yeah.
like you, right, you have to. So it's very technical. So right, there's I get why a lot of people don't read poker books, but like one of the first things I did in poker. So Doyle Brunson's Super System, and then Dan Harrington's. Um, so Dan Harrington has a 3-part series on tournament poker that is also just phenomenal.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, I don't know, actually. I don't know if this is it. It's like a 3-series book.
Yeah, well, there's like 3 books.
Volume 1, Strategic Play.
Yeah.
2004, The End Game, the Workbook.
Yeah. So what?
Interesting.
Dan Harrington had one of the best back-to-back runs. So I want to say he was final table. We got second the year. No, that's second the year Moneymaker won.
I do like watching it. I think I've maybe given more weight into like people's personalities and things because I think that's what's actually clipped in the actual clips of what's being recorded, not really what's going on, which is most of the time, if you're just really good at, being fast at the math in your head, you're on average going to be more likely to.
What they'll show you on the like televised tournaments, right? Which is they take 7 days of 17 hours a day of cards and boil that down into an hour.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What you're not seeing are overwhelmingly the hands. Poker's fucking boring. Like the hardest thing I have with poker, like to do it well, is you just end up sitting there most of the time.
Yeah. I think it'd be really cool to have like sometime when we talk, or maybe if someone drops off or something, it's just us. If we talk about some of these life lessons that you've learned from poker, because like I'm thinking about how you talk about this, I'm thinking about the others that I know who are really successful, and you're right. They have the same attitude that you described.
Yep.
And I actually thought that the reason why they were successful eventually, even through so many failures, is just because they were so stubborn.
I mean that's part of it, but like,
and that they were keeping the ego under wraps, actually.
Yeah, and another example, so like my poker bankroll management from when I played poker professionally, right? Which was the biggest reason that good players don't end up making it is because they're bad with money. But guess what? That overwhelmingly applies to business and investing, which is like your bankroll management, right? Which is how much you put on the line when you take your big shots, how much you apply to taking big shots versus how much is just your like stable growth. There's a insane number of parallels, and there's also great conspiracy angles, like a deck of cards. Right? There's 4 suits, like there's 4 seasons of the weather.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Like, yeah, there's
4 seasons of your life as well.
It's
or 3.
What there's 12 cards per suit, just like there's 12 months in a year, right? Like that the deck of cards is like kind of a magical thing. It's one of my favorite statistics ever too, to like just blow people's brains. If you randomly shuffle a deck of cards, that's likely the only time, right? It's overwhelmingly the only time the cards have ever been placed in that exact order.
You mean because they weren't participating in entropy?
No, yeah, they're No, it really is entropy though. There are trillions of
Yeah,
like possible ways for a like just a 50 card deck to be like lined up. It's mind blowing. Right?
yeah. Well, because there's how many cards are in a deck again?
50, 52,
50, yeah.
48.
Um,
Probably know that.
yeah, I mean any item over what 30, like if you had 30 cards, it'd be kind of
Yeah.
similar, right? Or no?
Yeah, but it's hard to wrap your head around if you shuffle cards in the history of all of the card millions and billions of hands that played, like the order of the cards after you've like put a random shuffle on them is completely unique still.
Yeah, it's also strange to think about too, just because of like all the card tricks and whatever. Like statistically, it feels unlikely that that's the case.
But that's how they get us. That's how they trick us. So, all right. Well, listen. I think who do you
Okay.
have Pearl next week?
What'd you say?
You have Pearl next week. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, that's the plan. So, yep, we're going to talk about why women suck, probably. Why as a women do we suck at everything? And we're superficial. Yeah, we're just like, you know what I mean? Like we need to know our place. So that's what we're going to talk about next week.
That'll be amazing. All right. Thank you, Dana. We'll talk in a little bit.
Thanks, Dustin. See you next week.